Hello, hello. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. Mama D coming at you. How's everybody doing? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Good to see you all. We're going to be going back into Tucson, Arizona. We're going to be covering more on the Nancy Guthrie case. Appreciate you so much for joining in. There goes our notification. We are live, darling. I hope everybody's doing good. I wish you all well. So you guys, did we miss the mark? The literal mark. Now, we've been watching the video of the masked guy. How many times have you seen it? Right? How many times have you watched the video of the masked intruder go across that front porch and mess with something by the door? We have thousands of theories out there, from experts to armchair sleuths to you at home, as to what the guy is actually doing. Is he even messing with the ring cam, or is he trying to see something in the side windows? We now know from other people that live in the area that are neighbors to Nancy that they've been going around. The feds, have been going around to all the different homes, and come to find out Nancy's house is the hot spot. What do I mean? Around it is all vacant homes. Check out Daphne Case Files. She breaks it down with the addresses, who lives there, and all that, because no one lives there. There are people staying there that are workers. Nancy had a lot of workers. Her roof was recently done. In that process of watching that masked man on that porch, we see what appears to be a tattoo. And the question would then naturally be, does Tommaso have a tattoo? Because whoever's on that porch camera apparently has a sleeve tattoo, most likely. It's somewhere around the wrist. Now, I watched it. I can't tell if we're looking at the bottom of the wrist or the top. You let me know what you think. You'll probably be like, I'm going to watch it again. But in that process, we have to really take into account who has tattoos around that area out of the people that we've talked about. Keep in mind, I'm not accusing anybody at all of doing anything to Nancy. I'm just trying to figure out who has arm tattoos and who doesn't. Because if they don't have an arm tattoo, it looks real. It doesn't look like something fake. I don't think that the person was like, hey, I'm going to put on a fake tattoo and make sure I show it right up to the camera so that they're looking for a guy with a tattoo and I'll have bare arms. I don't know. That seems really, I mean, it's something I would do if I was which I'm not, but if I was a bad person, I would change everything about me before I committed any type of bad thing, just simply because I have true crime in my knowledge of how it works and how cases are broke down. So I would change my hair color, maybe put on a wig. I would put on facial hair if I didn't have it. I would change my eye color. I would put on fake tattoos. I'd put lifts in my shoes. I'd bulk up with several layers so I looked bigger. I might even put my shoes purposely on the wrong feet just to confuse everybody. Like, it would be, right? Okay, so who knows how smart these people are? I say these people, I just don't believe it's one person. I don't believe it's four or more, because nobody has scooped up that $1 million. Just saying. But I want to welcome in our live crew. Then we're going to break it down picture by picture of each person. The only one I can't do is Luke Daly, because Luke Daly always, in every picture I have of him, has on long sleeves, so I can't tell. It would be wonderful if one of you beautiful PIs have a picture of Luke Daly's arms to look at. But I do have Derek Kalila, the guy that did the fake ransom and texted Annie and Tommaso and called them for 9 seconds. I have Tommaso. I actually have Dominic Evans. And do you remember the first raid, the first SWAT over on that young man named Carlos? And he said that they didn't even question him. They just were like, something about his eyes. Okay, he still seems suspicious, but apparently he's not the one either. But let's look at all this and see what we think. So I did a lot of work. I did a lot of digging to actually get as clear a pictures of the fella's arms that we've all been looking at as possible suspects in our opinion. Everything's our opinion, right, everybody? It's our opinion. Doesn't make it fact. It's just what we're thinking, what we may believe, and so forth. I want to say hello to my live audience, and we have Lottie with us. Hi. Hi, Lottie. I can't catch your chats flying. Hey, Rocco. Hey, Keith. Hi, Zozo. Nikki UK. Jenny Bill. Lynn BBBB. Welcome back. Ash Cash in the house. Jenny Bill's been rocking it. Linda Beatty's going to be changing her picture today. Zoe helped her out. That's awesome. So we'll get to see what she chooses. Rocco Love. Hello, hello. All right, you guys. So in this whole process, let me change my chat to live chat. The other day we couldn't see Liam at all. None of us. And we're like, how are you seeing Liam? We had to go to live chat. So that way we can see everybody. Debbie Gazzardo in the house. Good to see you, my beautiful. Okay. Let's jump over and just look at some things here. So I've got Miss Nancy Guthrie right down here. And then I have the lineup right now. As you notice, I said Luke Daly's not in my lineup because I can't get a picture of him. Forgive me. Hi, Karen. How are you? And welcome back. Nick UK. All right. Did we miss the mark? Right? So wouldn't it make sense that if the masked intruder, well, we don't even know if the masked guy's an intruder. Did he ever enter? Was he the getaway guy? Was he the guy that was supposed to be waiting out there to drive the car? And he's like, come on, guys. Putting his little flowers up to the camera, or was he trying to pull the camera off, or what was he doing? Was he trying to cover the... I mean, why not just put your full hand over the camera? It's not like this is a massive surface. Why go get flowers? And it's like this guy seems like a buffoon. He could be the getaway guy. Often the dumbest guy is all you got to do is drive guy. Okay? I'm just saying. Chat, not one out of them care. All right, you guys, let's get into the tattoo part. So, okay, hold on. Wait. Before we start, off topic, very important topic. I have been emailed and I have been messaged all about the JLR and Magnolia situation. This is what I have to say. I'm not going to dig into it until both sides are available to hear, because we have to consider that these are allegations that we're reading. Yes, it does sound like she had a broken nose. The question is, who broke her nose? Did she break her nose? Did JLR break her nose? So forth. I'm not saying that he did it or didn't do it. But what I am going to say is, DV is wrong, period. Doesn't even matter who it is against. You should never strike another human, whether it's a child, a woman, or a man. There should not be DV, but it does happen. So we'll just have to let it play out, find out. Magnolia's a very super smart gal, obviously. You have to remember that both individuals have a very cloudy past, to say the least. And so you can't take anybody's word at face value. And I think we need to just truly hold off until we have both sides. Remember, there is a restraining order. He can't even speak her name. He can't defend himself. We're hearing one side of it. Like, I knew a girl in high school, when her boyfriend broke up with her, she broke her own nose. She broke her own nose. and did things to herself. It didn't work. She got found out right away because she talked about it to a few of us. And some of us are tattletales. So I'm not saying Magnolia did. I'm not saying JLR did anything. I'm just saying I am not about to draw judgment when all we are hearing is one side of the situation. When we can hear the other side, we'll know a lot more. Then we can form our own judgment. I support any victim that has been victimized and has taken the stance, has been strong enough to report it and get help. I'm just not going to jump in and say with somebody that has that great of intelligence that both of them have, that there wasn't some underlying something that isn't just quite being told right. And so with that being said, I send my love out to Magnolia and JLR until I know otherwise. And that's how I feel. I can't say true, I'm staying out of it. I don't know anything. Thank you, Ashcast. That's how I feel. We're hearing one side. The other side is gagged, right? So we have to let it go. All right, my lovelies. Again, let me just really stress this. In a situation to where you are being made small, where you are being mistreated, maybe there's DV happening in your home, get out. There is 1,000 ways to do it. It's not above your ability to escape. There are people that will help you. I guarantee it. I've worked with DV victims. We've gotten them help. And that's all I can say is I support those that are truly victimized. Whether that's Magnolia or not, I don't know. But if it is, I support everything going on. I just want to know both sides before we jump on board and start whatever we're saying. Okay. Nancy Guthrie case. I've got the tattoo. All right. Let's take a peek at it. Let's bring it front and center. Let's take a look at it. You know what? I have an idea. Let's turn this upside down, because a lot of the times these tattoos are done this way, not this way, sometimes. And let's look at this tattoo for a minute. One thing I think of when I see this is I think of like, is this possible to be the handle of a knife in the depiction? Could this be like the pommel right down here? This be a knife. A lot of them like to have knife tattoos. But there's not enough there for me to figure out what actually this tattoo is. No matter what, I just have no clue. Could it be the leg of a claw, right? Maybe it's an eagle and that's the leg of a claw. I don't know. That's right, Linda Betty. That's right. My son had, okay, I got to tell you this real quick. Linda Beatty says men are also DV victims. My adult son got into a relationship with a woman, and she was off the chart crazy. And I got a text from him that was like gobbledygook, like 6 mixed up letters that didn't make sense. And I was like, what the hell is that? So I drove over about 1.5 miles to his home without telling anybody I was coming. And I had a key and I walked in the door, and there she was with a butcher knife, screaming and running at him. Yes, the police were called. Yes, she was arrested and so forth. It happens. And so we don't know. All right. Not saying that that's what happened with anybody else. Let's get into this. When we're looking at this, let me see if I can straighten it up, get it a little straighter for you fine folks. There we go. Let's listen to this. This is Nancy Grace. She's got this tattoo expert on there. And it's only about a minute clip. And then we're going to start breaking things down.
After looking at this, I want you to think carefully before you answer. Could you...
And just disclaimer, some of you do not like Nancy Grace. That is perfectly fine. I'm doing this because I need the information. Not saying I like her or dislike her, just saying I don't want to hear it.
Identify. Just make a stab at it. Your best estimate as to what.
Okay. Right away, I'm like, do they think it's a knife? Because she's like, just take a stab at it. And I'm like, I think it could be the picture of a knife, maybe. I don't know. It could be so many different things, but it's just weird the way she says, go ahead, take a stab at it.
This sliver. It's a small portion of a larger tattoo. What is it?
But most likely, if we're going to go with the Chicano gangs and stuff like that, it's going to be angels, cloud work, family members. It's going to be some kind of, in memory, some kind of memorial to either a deceased relative or a friend who died with him on the streets.
So that's interesting that he would say that it could be a tattoo of a memorial to someone that passed away, either in their own street, you know what I mean by that, or it could be a family member, that it could be in honor of, in memory of, because that is so strange when we start looking at the people that do have tattoos, okay? So then I was listening to this dude talk to Brian Enton. All right, I want you to listen to this.
I'm back home in Florida, but I obviously made a lot of friends in the neighborhood and stuff. And one of the neighbors texted me this morning. She texted me early. She said, I wanted to tell you that the FBI came.
Why do you think that it's a fake picture made by AI? How would you know if it's a fake picture made by AI? You love Nancy? You follow Nancy? I think the royal family and Epstein's associated ordered the hit. A lot of people think that captured Dandy. A lot. Tattoos don't disappear, though. This shadow moves and disappears when you play it frame by frame. Sleuth has shown it. Oh, well then, maybe this won't change your mind at all. Let's just get right into this. Let's start with Derek Kaloa. Does he have a tattoo? Now, if this is a fake image that mainstream media has somehow used AI to create, shame on them. And unfortunately, we have to question everything nowadays because we're being lied to more than we're finding out the truth. Ain't that the truth? You want the truth? Come to Mama D. All right, so let's get into Derek Kaloa, the guy that did the fake ransom to Annie and Tommaso. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoy this picture. It took me 2.5 hours to find it. I watched almost every dang horrific music video this man has. I scoured his home pages, and I finally got a clear shot. Crystal clear. That's the bottom of the shoe, because the camera, but no tattoo, y'all. No tattoo. That's true, night cameras don't do color. Well, and there's no color on that tattoo that I see. Yeah, I don't see any color. Good point, though. Capture Dandy says nothing else makes sense but that. It checks all the boxes. I know, Lottie. It is annoying that we can't trust things. Ash Cash says, yes, my granddaughter watched her, who raised me for years. Oh, grandmother. I said granddaughter. No wonder it didn't make no sense. Capture Dandy, truth is it's Epstein related. In your opinion, make sure you put that. There's a weird skin color. Let me go back. I want to see. Come on, man. Well, let's turn it back up, right? Are you talking over here by this, what looks to be like an eye? I don't know. This is just weird. Capture Dandy, I don't see any tattoo. Looks like shadows. Well, you need to get on your TV or something and get a bigger screen. It's obviously a tattoo. Linda Beatty, could be a new tattoo. The picture looks old. Well, if they used AI to enhance it, it could be completely different than this too. Got changed. Thank you, lovely, for the blessings. Blessings to you. That orange and brown. I'm only seeing, do I have a really good TV or something? I do have excellent monitors, but I'm not seeing any brown and I'm not seeing any orange. All I'm seeing is skin. Let me make this really big for those of you that are saying, I don't see any tattoo. I don't know how you can't. The AI creates images from tones. They've taken a still shot and made it from there. Okay. Maybe so. I don't even pretend to know. Looks like the perp that is in full color. You've been watching Nancy since you were a child, Chloe, and pulled away from her because of the Idaho 4. Yeah, I didn't like her coverage of that. But we're not going to agree with everything that, even I say you're not going to agree with everything. That's right, Nikki UK. I do work very hard on this, you guys. So do share some love, please. And, okay, look at that. Hit that like button. Almost forgot to finish my sentence. Alright, so right here, Derek Kalila could have got a tattoo. He could have. This may be, 5 years old. Maybe got a tattoo. Night vision doesn't do skin. That's an excellent point, Lottie. Well, now you may have changed my whole view on all of it. Let's make this black and white and see what it would look like if it was black and white. Oh no, it's frozen. Elsa, frozen. Yeah, it makes quite a difference to look at it. It still looks like the pommel of a knife to me. It looks like an upside down flower with a leaf. It could too. I see that. Hold on, let me shrink it down so I can turn it back up. I mean, we could look at it all day. I doubt we're going to make heads or tails out of it. However, let me shrink him back down too. My gracious. Do you see this old metal building? Those are metal ceiling tiles. They're 10 and they're from the late 1800s, early 1900s. Anyway, not that that matters. So he's hanging from this light thing here and he's got his arms straight up and no tattoo. Lottie says the original video isn't anything like that. Thank you, lovely. Leaf for a flower? Could be. Michelle Mybell, it reminds me of Dia del Muerto type of art. I see a sad sullen man possibly. Alright, we gotta go get the video. We'll try to get the video before we leave. Alright? But here's the thing. We have to put the stake in the ground somewhere. If there is a tattoo, for those of you that say, I know that's a tattoo, those, regardless of what it is, regardless of what color it is or isn't, doesn't matter. If this person has a tattoo, and a lot of people thought they saw a tattoo before Nancy Grace even saw a tattoo. A lot of people. And in that, we need to know who has a tattoo and who doesn't. So, when it comes to Derek Kalila, sure, he could have got a tattoo, but in the one picture I was able to nail down, His arm is absolutely clean of a tattoo around that wrist area. Completely clean, no tattoo. Guess who else? It does look like a tattoo, Ashcash says. Hello, Brenna Rose. Welcome to our channel. He doesn't look like the man in the second video with the bald head. I'm not sure, sweetie. Didn't a viewer say it looked like a rope? Maybe it's a rope. Ceiling tiles are PVC plastic and buy at Home Depot, not tin. Oh, I don't know. That's what... Okay, so... I live near a 150-year-old hotel, a grand hotel, and that is exactly what the ceiling tiles look like, and they're made out of tin. They're very thin, and they are on top of the normal stuff that's up there to hide it. And so they are refurbishing the hotel, and I was able to go look at them, and it was quite astonishing to see how old those tiles were. So it's possible that those on this are from Home Depot, but it's possible they're not. That could be an old building, simply because that's exactly what these tiles look like in the old Woodland Hotel where I live. So anyway, let's stay on topic. Hi, Smudger. How are you doing? Could this be a tattoo of skeleton fingers? Could be. I'm not asking what it is because we have no idea. We have them here, but they are okay. Lots of people talking today. That's good. That's good. Hey, Jan Funk. Good to see you. Aw, you're coming back for a replay. Well, good to see you. Lottie, yes, Mom Crew done a video and looks like a cross then. Could be Hispanic, maybe not. Could be a white guy with a tattoo. I know every race. I don't want to hear it. Every single race on this planet has had tattoos. Black people, white people, Hispanic people, Jewish people, they get tattoos, all right? I know a lot of white Caucasian males that also have sleeves. They're part of the biker gang, okay? So, I don't know. Brenna Rose says, I think it's a tattoo. Eagles Club in Milwaukee, and the rave is there. Lots of banks play there. Linda Lovely, you mean they have the ceilings like that? Tats are fine. This masked man literally looks like everyone. That is true. That is true. All right. Does Tommaso, I'm trying to I want to say I love you guys, my replay crew, for just, surfing along with us through the live here, where it's like people are really getting fixated on what the tattoo is and so forth. I'm still working on trying to guide us further. All right, so Derek Kalila, at the time of that picture, did not have a tattoo. Doesn't mean he didn't get one. I'm just saying I wanted to do my research to see if these people had a tattoo that looked like what the perp might have. And so I'm working on it. A lot of Muslims don't have tattoos. I mean, it's everybody. Some do, some don't. It's whatever. I got changed, says if the perp was in and out of the areas, the media and security was there. Like the mentioned, the tat isn't on any when the strings were on. All right, thank you, lovely. Hello, G Angel. Well, I saw a cop that has a tattoo of skeleton fingers near the wrist and also a tattoo of a Bitcoin. Interesting. Hi, Blue Bella. I have believed that the Porch guy is Carlos, in my opinion, since the first day I saw Carlos. Interesting. In my opinion, it's a tattoo of some sort. All right. Thank you, Marion. Thank you. Could it be dirt? I mean, at this point, it could be anything. I'm just saying, truly. All right, so does Tommaso have a tattoo on his wrist? Are you wanting to know that? Linda says, I have many left arm, and it's a flower. Yes, tattoos are harem. Well, people get tattoos for different reasons. A lot of people on the planet have a tattoo. I got nothing on me. But there are people that have tattoos. Could it be fake? Could. Do you, okay, give me a 1 if you think that Tomato has a tattoo on his arm, his right arm. Give me a 2 if you don't think so. Before I show you if he does or doesn't, and it is a more recent picture when he's older, all right? Let's see what you guys think about this. Give me a 1 if you think that he does, and 2 if you think you don't. G. Angel says, oh, and the same cop has a white mark on his pinky finger right hand. Lottie says, I like tattoos. I was replying to, oh, okay. All right, so we got 1. So a lot of people think he does. Cup of Cats, Rodinia, hello. I gotta change. CIJI, Teresa, Barbara, Jennyville. Y'all all think that he has tattoos? Okay. Now let's see who says he doesn't, most likely. Brenna doesn't believe he has tattoos. Enid doesn't believe he has tattoos. Susie Paris doesn't believe that Tomato has a tattoo. Casey's not sure. All right, so it's pretty much straight down the middle, 50-50. Let's look at Tomato. This took a while, but look what I got. Come on. There's his right hand. Nothing. Nada. No tattoo. No tattoo. Nothing. And I did look at other pictures too. And he does not. You guessed, Jennyville. So at least we have some answers today. Who has tattoos and who doesn't? Blue Bella says, I really couldn't see a tattoo on the first pictures that came out. I did see a little bit of something that appears to be tattoo. Linda said, I thought he did. Just like his natural skin color with black tattoo. Yeah, no. Nothing. It's clean as a whistle. So's his other arm. Nothing that I could see anyway. I don't know, Brenna Rose, but Annie, okay, the perpetrator is 5'9" to 5'10". Annie is like 5'5", so she can't possibly be the person on the porch. So there's no point to compare her. Logistically, she could have been there. Doesn't take, okay, let's think of that too. Just because these people are not necessarily the person on the porch also doesn't mean they're not involved, and it doesn't mean they are involved. But does it clear them? No, because what if the perp guy on the porch is nothing but the getaway driver? What if the actual assailant is already in the house? What if this porch perpetrator is basically one of those, very nervous people and with a lot of worry if they're house burglaring, or what do they call that when it's a break-in but they're not there to steal anything, they're taking them, I can't think of the word, but they break in the home to take the person, right? So my point being, this shows like he's got a handful of berries. It's a full forearm tattoo. He doesn't have a full forearm tattoo that I can see. The family didn't do it, says Lisa. We don't know. I got to train. Y'all, please put in my opinion, because you really don't know. Because the cops don't know. Because nobody knows but Nancy right now and the people that did it. That's a fact. There's $1 million out there. If you really knew, you'd have $1 million. You'd be rich. So we have to use, in my opinion, whether you think they did it or not, that's absolutely fine. But please use in my opinion, because you can get my channel in trouble. And I have to be careful then when I see that you don't use in my opinion several times, I quit reading your comments out loud so that I don't get into legal trouble. Okay? All right. In your opinion, it's not Tommaso. Thank you, Angel. Lottie says, we don't know until they find someone and the motive. They were, okay, the sheriff was clearing Annie and Tommaso before the evidence of their own vehicle, which was impounded in custody, in evidence, being scoured over, had even been finished. So we know that's a line of shite. I mean, just because somebody passes a polygraph, how many questions, what questions were asked? Come on. I don't like these polygraph tests, because if it's somebody that's a true narcissist that would kill their own mother, they're going to pass a polygraph test most likely, because they don't have the emotions that a lot of others that are empathic have. Again, please, thank you, Zozo. Capture Dandy says the family know who it is, in your opinion, and isn't saying anything because they would have been caught by now. The fact that they know makes them complicit, in your opinion. All right, we won't be reading those anymore because they can't seem to put in my opinion. Blue Bella says Nanos cleared them, but we can't believe anything he says. He constantly says one thing, then turns around, and he is saying the opposite. He could be trying to get rid of the press hanging out, in your opinion. Thank you, lovely. Right? 1.225 mil, right? Yes, Jennyville, thank you. Otherwise, we'll just move along. Yeah. There's the one thing I do agree with, Casey. She said, in my opinion, Nanos is an idiot. I agree with your opinion. We share the same opinion. Cheryl, yes, or local or trade. Okay. In my opinion, it wasn't intentional unaliving if that happened. Good point. Kathy says, in my opinion, we know Derek said we are waiting on our side. We know he was arrested. We know he is connected. Good point. If this happened to any of us, our families, we would be in jail right now until the case is fully investigated. I don't know if that's true. I kind of disagree with that. I've watched so many cases. I mean, we're well over 100 cases. We're nearing 150 cases. In that, I have found that a lot of the times the people that they suspect did it walk around free for years. And then they bust them, and then they've got him by the noose. I mean, they got him. They got him. So it's almost as if they let him walk free, let him think that they're not under watch, right? And in the meanwhile, behind the scene, they're building up a great deal of evidence. And then when the arrest comes, the person's like, whoa, I thought this was over. It's been like 3 years. And all the while out here, we're all like pounding our fists saying, we want justice. Why are there no arrests? But because if you actually have to go to court and prove that someone did it, you got to nail it. You can't be kind of like we think, where we believe. You got to have hardcore physical evidence to back it up, as you know. So Nancy's case is not cold because they're still doing door-to-door things. There's still people working the case. They've just pulled back and, as I call it, have their heads down at their desk. They're studying stuff. Will she ever be found? I doubt it. They don't even look for her. They're not looking for her. Hey, Rocco Love, nobody claimed the reward because it would implicate themselves, of course, in your opinion. And, you know, it almost would suggest that there's not a great deal of people involved, because the bigger the group, the higher the risk is somebody's going to sell out to get that money. So it's 1 or 2, maybe 3 people, most likely, in my opinion. Capture Dandy. Well, in my opinion, thank you, lovely. Everything that is said is speculation. The family isn't suing anyone because they'll be exposed. Capture, it's not about that. It's about my community guidelines at YouTube and the requirement that you follow the community guidelines, which is that we don't do that. We say, in my opinion. In my opinion, a targeted revenge case, I feel that too. I feel it could be that too. All right, who else do you want to know about? How about Derek? Or not Derek, Dominic. Dominic Evans. You want to check into Dominic Evans? I don't know if Luke Daly has a tattoo. I want to know so much, Mary. Every photograph I could possibly find, and I was up super late to the point I was almost nauseous at looking at these people. I could not find Luke Daly without a long sleeve shirt, and very few pictures, if any, showed his hands. But what about Dominic Evans? He was the band member of Tommaso. And there was a lot of people that were suspicious about Dominic Evans, including, I was suspicious. I'm like, I want to look at everybody. So we didn't really pick on anybody. We shared with everybody. Hello, Carolyn Miller. In your opinion, someone could get whacked over knowledge of this crime. That's a very good possibility. Antoinette says, in my opinion, this perp had some or other training. This was well planned because Nancy is still not found. The authorities still have no clue who the perp is. You are going to get a gold star. You get the goat scream, and here's why. A lot of people, they look at this Porch guy, and he's the main focus. To me, he was the guy that was supposed to stay in the truck, stay in the car, right? Because he does stupid shit, obviously. He's slow, he just wastes time, he's not in a hurry. I believe that he was told, you wait in the car, we'll bring her out the front door, just stay in the car. And so he didn't. I think he went up to be like, what's taking so long? It's been like 40 minutes. Did the old lady take you over or what? And I think he's trying to look in these windows. I think he got bored. It was taking so long. But he's the dumb guy, in my opinion. In my opinion, the smart one is the one that was in the house that was the actual perp, not just the driver. Yes, Mary Daly is nervous and jerky, and we know he lies. He said, I don't know, Kayla. Bullshit, you were arrested in the same vehicle with her, and she had an AR, pew-pew, fully loaded with fent, and you had bad things on you, and you guys got all these breaking and entering type things. Yeah, you lied. So I can't say he's off the hook. Picture of Koala looks like old theater. That's what I thought too. Blue Bella says they may have already been hacked. That may be the reason no one has collected any cash. Good point. Perhaps Porch guy needed to use the toilet, right? He could have went out around the side and, just peed in the bushes, right? Linda says, I said the same thing. Luke has tattoos, and in his interview had long sleeves on. It was winter, so I can't be like, well, but it is weird because everybody down there, even in February, when this started, was so hot they could not breathe. They were like, it's so hot. And then we get the interview with Luke Daly, and not only does he have long sleeves on, he's got a vest on too. And I'm like, he likes to wear layers. So does the other guy on the porch. Lottie says, hey, Broken Goth Dog, good to see you. Lottie says, I think Daly knows something. I watched the Brianna interview. My gut feeling, they should have seized his smashed car. Agreed, 1000%. Broken Goth Dog, maybe he needed to poop. Yeah, okay, here we go. I looked it up and I found Dominic Evans. And as you can see in this picture and in this one, there are no tattoos. Nothing. Clean as a whistle. And by the way, he wears glasses. So that was interesting. Now, are you ready to see? I went and looked up Carlo because I couldn't take it. I'm like, we gotta look. Sending the email pic of tattoo on Luke. Ooh, Marion, I'll look for it. How are we doing on time? Get it to me right away. Luke wore a blood red tie that got me. Ooh, Carolyn, that's strange too, right? Paul says the porch guy realized that there was a security gate on the door. Maybe he had to take the camera out before they took Nancy out. Good point. Dominic looks a little about 5'7" tops. Let me look back on this picture. I don't know. Could be. He's got a farmer's tan. All right. G. Angel says, in my opinion, the intruder on the porch had already been in the house. On the porch view was all staged to confuse the public timeline. Well, could be, but Nancy's pacemaker had not disconnected when he was on the porch. That's interesting, right? All right, let's get into this. You guys, this is where I've got to be like, what's going on here? So we have the picture of the tattoo, and then I have this interview here.
For questioning, how would you describe what happened to you?
Watch his arms.
Terrifying. Something I
What does
didn't
he
do.
have?
Something I was being.
This is
I
Carlos,
felt like
the
I was being
first rated
kidnapped, bro.
guy.
They didn't tell me anything at the beginning.
He says he felt like he was kidnapped, bro. Look. And why? Okay. I get you're nervous, Carlos. I get that. You've been through something going on and being detained, your house being raided, you're probably shooken up pretty bad. But all the hand gestures and wringing of the hands, this is really nervous. I mean, he looks scared to death. Right, and you know what? I'm just going to capture this for a later video real quick. Where's my little screenshot tool? There it is. I want to capture that look of his eyes. Right there. We're just going to put it over here on the side so that we have it for the future because it looks so much like... Okay, hold on. The positioning I needed, so just future for me. Okay, he definitely has a full sleeve on the right arm. Whoops. Janeville says, hey Paul, suspicious, says Casey. In your opinion, thank you, Bluebell. In your opinion, he tells lies also, and so does the mother-in-law. Could be. Yes, Carlos has a tattoo. I'm really uncertain if that's an actual photo from crime scene or a depiction, in your opinion. Okay, let's watch his arms, y'all. We were about right here.
Kidnapped, bro. Because they didn't tell me anything at the beginning.
It's quite
And
clear.
investigators showed up.
Do you see it? Do you see it? Okay. So obviously he's moving and waving his arms. He's very animated. Maybe he's a Gemini like me. I talk with my hands all the time. But he clearly has a tattoo. Clearly. So they took his phone. All right. Let's get into this. I'm not sure what this is. I'm not sure. But if this tattoo, let me just go, bring this forward. If this tattoo has been enhanced with all their shit, let's go ahead and try to unenhance it. We'll make it a little foggy. We'll bring down the lighting. We'll bring back the contrast to take the color out, right? And then no color. And the reason I'm doing that is because that way we can tell a little bit more. Could this be this type of tattooing? He has a full sleeve. Carolyn says yes, he's fidgeting is similar hand movements in your opinion. Look at the left hand where thumbs join hand, quite pronounced like porch guy. What now? Look at the left hand Where thumb joins hand. Okay. Let me see. It's so hard to catch that one moment. Oh, I see. He's got a wide area there, you're saying, like Porch guy. What led to Carlos? He was in the area because he was doing deliveries. Mama D, don't work with AI image. Go back to the original. I will have to do that on a different time, sweetie. But I wanted you to look at, just to be aware of who does have a tattoo. And I don't know, I played around a little bit here and grabbed screenshots so that we could maybe understand it better as to what this tattoo is about. And I've one that really shows me, and it's very interesting because we've heard a lot about it could be a memorial tattoo that people would have. He definitely has a face. Let me see where we can see it. You can see it wraps all the way around here on the wrist. I really tried to get every position of him I could. Here you can clearly see that he has definite tattoo right here. So you can clearly see that he has a tattoo. All right, let me get over here to this one. Look at this. Now let's go back up. And I know I'm working with the AI one. I'm sorry, y'all. We'll have to try to do it with the other one as well. But I don't know. I don't know for comparison or not. But do you see the face? So I'm getting my drawer out just in case you don't see the face. I'm waiting on the system to unfreeze. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to try to draw it in red. So here's the head. It's absolutely for sure a face. This person's face is like this. Here you have their nose. Here you have their eyes and their mouth. Now I'm going to take it all off so you can see what I'm talking about. And let me try, I don't know if it'll do a bit of good to mess with this, but let me try to make it sharper. Can you see that? Maybe if we make it bigger. Okay. Maybe we'll bring up the contrast a little bit more. It's almost better without the contrast, because when I do that, it just pixelates it so much. Okay, hold on a minute, you guys. I'm going to come up to top side so I can check my email real quick, because someone just said they sent me the picture for Luke Daly. Who said that? Sent. Marion. Okay. Let me go in and let me just look and see if I received it. Marion Luke tattoo. That would be his left arm, hun. He definitely has tattoos, though. All right, let me grab this. And I'll show you the picture. Whoops, wrong. There we go. Okay, let's get back over here. We've got Luke Daly. So let me make a new screen so that we don't mess these two up. Look at the tattoos. Man, Luke. Now that looks more like what we talking about. Look, 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 look. Not that it matches, because that's the left arm, but he probably has both arms tattooed. Look at the artwork. We're getting Luke off the screen because I want his arm. Very distinct. About the same age. And look at this. An artist that does this type of artwork has been doing this for a while. These are almost like look at this. These are lines that were tattooed in just for shadow effect. And here's a skull, right? Here's the skull. of the Grim Reaper, because here's the sickle. Let's turn this on its head. Okay, let me shrink it down. We'll put this over here. Let me crop this. All I want is a tattoo. Now let's turn this so that we would be looking at it proper. Man, I want his full arm. I would love to see his full arm. There's a lot of money on that arm. Right, Casey? It's the same style. Holy crap. Is that a Kia Soul in the background? Oh, I don't know. Let me look. Let me shrink it down and then we'll uncrop it. Do you know I own a white Kia Soul of the same years of that one? I just think that's wild. I actually do own a white Kia Soul. Yeah, so I'll know if it's a Kia Soul or not. Just let me uncrop it. Making sure y'all are seeing. Are you shitting me? That's not a Kia Soul, but it's definitely a hatchback in white. Here's why I don't think it's a Kia Soul. Because of the backlights right here. On a Kia Soul, my lights go all the way the length of the whole back. They don't start real low. They start real high. Also, I don't have this slant. It's just straight. Now, my Kia Soul is like that big. Like the back end don't have that extension. However, doesn't that make you wonder? And then, boy, I want to see Luke Daly's arms. I want to see Luke Daly's other arm so freaking bad. That is just wild. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think? That's what I wanted to do today. Did we miss the mark? Meaning that it's not Tommaso on the front porch, or maybe it's not Dominic Evans. Maybe it's not Carlos. Maybe it's not, what was the other guy's name? Derek Kalila. But is it Luke Daly? Does he have the tattoos that we're looking for? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below. I'm very late for my next live, but that's okay too. I wanted to let you know our next live, I'm going to be pulling cards. If that's not your thing, skip this step. I do it with Jesus in my heart. I only talk to Jesus. I do not tap into any worldly spirits or any of that or all that weird crap. I talk to Jesus. If he wants my cards to give the answers, they'll be there. And only Jesus is allowed to give me my answers. But I'm not going to do a reading on Nancy Guthrie. I actually want to do a reading on Jimmy Gracie, because they just found his body. He's a University of Alabama football guy, student that went to Barcelona on vacation. Young, beautiful fella. I have kids his age and he's gorgeous. He's just so much potential. He comes out the bar. Now, some places are reporting that they have video that shows him going towards the water. I don't know, but that is where they found him. Now, there's a lot of people asking, how can the Barcelona police rule it not foul play, that is just an accident, when the toxicology report isn't even back yet? They're doing it right when they're pulling him out of the water. Oops, accident. How do they know? So, I want some answers, and I thought we would go ahead, pull a few cards, and see if we can get him some answers. Anyway, that is what I have for you today. I want to thank you for tuning in. Your time is valuable, and I greatly appreciate your time. Thank you for Replay Crew. Thank you for those that are in the live that chose not to chat. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you again very soon. And if you're continuing on with me, I will see you in 3 minutes.
From the dust I was born, to the dirt I shall return. When my eyes are closed, in the shadows, my enemies will think they won, but I'm here to stay. Destiny will overcome. No, I am not afraid. Like a phoenix in the night, my soul will rise. From the darkness to the light, I feel alive. I'm a fire, burning bright, I'll never die.